Oh, I'm not having much luck. My little microscope went kaput. So I gotta try to figure out something else for doing close-up work. But as you can see, it's all torn apart. I tried to fix it. I found a bad diode on the board and it turns on, but it still won't boot. So I'm just gonna forget about it, put it away, and buy something else. And to just rub some salt in the wound, my scissor arm mount here broke, so I'm just figuring out a way to put this back together, and I think I've pretty much figured it out. Just found this L bracket here, and I'm gonna attach it sort of like that, and then that'll give me the swivel I need. So this thing here swivels, and then it'll give me the rotation in this direction that I need too. So I'm gonna get this all geared up, and we'll see how it turns out. Oh yeah, and my power supply, I added USB to it. I modified where the switch goes here. I had it just pushed into this front panel, but when I had to remove it for I can't remember why I had to remove it, but I had to remove it for some reason, and it kind of broke out this cheap ass press board stuff. So I 3D printed this piece and put the switch in that and just screwed it to the panel. That way there, if I need to remove the switch, I can just unscrew it, pull it out, pop it out of here, and I'm good to go. I don't need to mess around with this stupid cheap ass front panel. But anyway, so I also added USB to this power supply too. Kind of a half-assed job, but it does work. This was a lot easier than this one. When I added this USB, I had to put in a wall wart, so a USB charger, and wire it into the mains power. This one here, I just used the standby voltage wire and wired it into this with a negative, and it was good to go. That one was fairly easy. This one wasn't quite as easy, but it was still okay. It wasn't too hard. So I finally got the arm done, and I put a lock nut here, a lock nut there, just so that I could tighten it up to the point where it's nice and solid, but not too over tight. With the regular nuts, I kind of had to get it too tight, and I couldn't swivel it very good. So right now it works decent. And what I did here, can't remember if I showed it or not, but what I did here was I just cut the broken piece off of this and sanded it down, drilled a hole through the center, and put this bolt through, and lock nut on that side. And this is just an L bracket, just something I happened to come across when I was looking through my junk drawer. And I have another one, so I was thinking about taking one of these bolts out, or maybe back a little farther where it won't be in the way of this mount, and possibly making a mic mount on this thing. So I tightened this up really good, so it's fairly stiff, and with a camera on there it really doesn't move around much. So it's going to work out pretty good, and I think it'll actually be better than the way it was before, because like I said, the original piece was plastic, and this was the weak point, obviously, because that's where it broke. And now that this is pretty solid with a bolt straight through this, and then a metal piece here, and a bolt through here, the only real weak point now is maybe this plastic mount and maybe this plastic joint here.